When Clara first joined the marketing firm, she never imagined her boss, Daniel, would become such a central figure in her life. He was charming, confident, and had an uncanny way of making her feel important. At first, their relationship was purely professional, but late nights at the office slowly turned into private dinners, and private dinners turned into something far more dangerous. Clara knew it was wrong, but she told herself it was just harmless fun, a distraction from the quiet, predictable life she had with her husband, Mark. Mark, a software engineer, loved Clara deeply. He trusted her without question, never suspecting that the extra hours she claimed to spend finishing reports were actually spent in the arms of another man. He was the kind of husband who made her coffee in the morning, left sticky notes on the fridge with sweet reminders, and always asked about her day. But lately, Clara noticed the warmth in their marriage fading, or maybe she just stopped looking for it. One Friday night, Clara invited some colleagues over for drinks, including Daniel. The wine flowed, the music played, and laughter filled the house. Mark was in the kitchen, topping up glasses, when he overheard a conversation he was never meant to hear. Clara, giggling with a coworker, leaned closer and said, "Oh, Daniel is amazing in bed. I mean, you wouldn't believe how good he is." Her words hung in the air like a dagger. Mark froze. For a moment, he wondered if he had misheard, but the tone in Clara's voice told him everything. His hands shook as he placed the bottle down. He didn't confront her right there. Instead, he plastered on a fake smile and continued hosting as if nothing had happened. Inside, though, his world had already started to crumble. That night, after everyone left, Clara came to bed smelling faintly of perfume and wine. Mark lay awake, staring at the ceiling, his mind replaying her words over and over. He wanted to scream, to demand an explanation, but something in him shifted. He realized that if she could speak so casually about betraying him, she had already made her choice. The next morning, Mark acted as if nothing was wrong. He kissed her cheek before work, packed her favorite lunch, and even texted her midday to say he loved her. But while Clara thought life was carrying on as usual, Mark began quietly gathering evidence. He checked phone records, bank statements, and even found hotel receipts tucked away in her handbag. Every piece of proof felt like another nail in the coffin of their marriage. 2 weeks later, Mark invited Clara out to a fancy dinner. She was delighted, assuming it was his way of rekindling their romance. He poured her wine, complimented her dress, and smiled the way he always did. Then, halfway through the meal, he slid an envelope across the table. Inside were photographs, receipts, and a printout of the text messages between her and Daniel. Clara's face drained of color. She tried to speak, but Mark held up a hand. "I heard you that night," he said quietly. "I heard every word. And I realized something. I deserve better." His voice was calm, almost too calm, as if all the anger had already burned away, leaving only cold resolve. She began to cry, apologizing, swearing it meant nothing. But Mark had already made up his mind. "You didn't just cheat on me," he said. "You humiliated me. You threw away everything we had for a fling with your boss." The rest of the meal passed in silence, the air thick with finality. By Monday morning, Mark had moved out. Clara came home to an empty closet and a divorce petition on the kitchen counter. Alongside it was a note that read, "I hope he's worth it." The simplicity of the message hurt her more than any argument could have. At first, she tried to convince Daniel to take their relationship seriously. But Daniel, ever the charmer, had no interest in a committed relationship. He started pulling away, making excuses, and eventually stopped answering her calls altogether. Clara realized too late that she had been nothing more than a temporary distraction to him. Months passed, and Clara's once vibrant life began to dull. Her friends avoided her, whispers followed her at work, and the tension with Daniel made the office unbearable. Eventually, she quit the job that had once been her escape, finding herself alone in a small apartment, staring at the ruins of her choices. Mark, on the other hand, rebuilt his life slowly but surely. He reconnected with old friends, started traveling, and eventually met someone new. Someone who valued loyalty as much as he did. He never looked back, carrying the painful lesson as a reminder of what he would never tolerate again. As for Clara, she often lay awake at night replaying that one careless sentence, the one that cost her everything. She had no idea her husband had heard it, and by the time she realized the damage it caused, it was far too late to take it back. Some mistakes you can fix. Others, you have to live with forever.